Hey everyone! You know, Kidder Music Service is one of the greatest assets to our school district. From providing day-to-day materials like reeds and valve oil to purchasing pieces of sound and instrumental equipment, there isn't anything they can't do. Kidder Music Service helps our students sound the best they can each and every day, and we are proud to call them a Music in the Making sponsor. If you are looking for similar materials for your school, don't hesitate to call and ask for assistance and mention us, Music in the Making, today. Their number is 309-692-4040, or visit kiddermusic.com, that's Kidder music.com today for all your music classroom needs. And now, on to the podcast. Welcome to Music in the Making.
That's illegal.
I want to be with you everywhere. A Halloween party. Oh, that's fun. Let's talk about work.
That's not what I said. Well, and I like Stanridge, so it's like I kind of.
Oh, you guys are friends?
Yeah,
I
talked to him. Yeah, we talked
to him last week.
A whole 5 minutes at Midwest last year. We are 3 high school and junior high music teachers from West Central Illinois.
And someone had to go to the bathroom during intermission and missed it. And that someone is me.
Yeah! Each week we will talk about our experiences in the classroom, community, and personal lives too. Please welcome your hosts, Lisa Hallen.
We say move all this stuff down there, and then it gets moved, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, why have we moved that from there to there to there? Stop recording.
Art Martinez. Happy Friday if it's not a Friday, or Saturday or Sunday, or if you're Lisa, it's a week later. And Kevin Ferry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
During class. Can't put that on there. This is what we do. We record things illegally.
Welcome back to another episode of Music in the Making. That's going to be such a great intro. Oh my goodness.
Is there a shirt with that on it? There should be.
Nah, see, I think when we expand the merch, it's gonna have Lisa's face on that.
Like that meme with the girl like scrunching up her nose, like in the car.
Oh my gosh. It has been a few weeks, people. But boy, has it been an insane few weeks. I mean, like, I'm trying to think, like, when we had Ty on, like, what's happened since then? Like, I know the main topic today will be the all-district concert, but there was, like, Kevin's been gone for track because it's track season. So those of you who remember, I think last year about this time, Kevin's, like, never around because, you know, he's got to be at every track meet every single day of the week. It's crazy.
Tis the season.
Tis track season. So good luck. Run fast. Throw things far. Jump high. All the track things. Pass the baton. You know, spike the ball, score the goals in the field points, and all the things. So, but that's okay. We have a guest with us today, Miss Emily Pickrell from Central. Yay! I add like a little like sound effect thing.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's been a busy 3 weeks, but we are very fortunate to have her availability. Her agent said she just had a last minute meeting canceled, so she has just enough time for our podcast today. Very busy.
Thank you for the fruit basket that really tipped things in your favor.
Did all the exotic fruits that you ordered, were they in the right order?
I mean,
it's color?
not quite the time for mangoes. But,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Overlook that.
So anyway, but we figured today kind of highlight some of the things that we have gotten done since then. And since our last episode, which has been a lot, but one of the biggest topics we want to talk about, though, is our all-district concert. So leading up to the all-district concert, it's pretty crazy. We finish up with solo and ensemble with junior high, and then not even, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks after solo and ensemble, it's all district concerts. So the kids don't have a lot of time, at least for the junior high, to like get music ready because we were just focusing on solo ensemble. So to kind of start to get used to being in full ensemble again and start playing concert band pieces again, and then also learn the all district piece, which we'll talk about a little bit. It's like quite like one after another. So it's been busy, but yeah, but it was pretty crazy. Miss Hallen.
Can we talk about Emily first? So we
Yeah,
know
we
why?
can. I guess I was kind of leading up to like introducing, but yes, that's fine. I get it.
You don't
I get it. It's fine. It's fine. It's without.
We need to know the connection between the all district concert and our guest star.
Yeah, well, it's a collaborative effort. But yes, so that being said, let's turn the microphone over to our guest, Miss Emily Pickrell. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, how long you've been teaching in general, and all that stuff. Let us get to know you comfortably.
As opposed to
Uncomfortably.
That's
As opposed to facts we
great.
might not want to know.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am Emily Pickrell, and I used to be Emily Fink. I don't know who listens to this.
Shout out to all those people who know Emily Fink. Kevin Nichols from Western. Yeah.
I went to Illinois Wesleyan University for my undergrad, and then ended up here in Monmouth when we were just Monmouth, and then merged with Roseville and got my master's from Western in music something. And,
Shout out to Western.
Yeah.
Double Western.
I
Same.
guess Western. And this is my 24th year of teaching.
Very good.
General music, 4, 5, and 6, and band.
So, what is general music like at the level that you teach that maybe like versus Dr. and Mrs. Martinez, shout out, does some things, topics that you like to cover during general music?
Well, if you've ever seen episodes of Drunk History, that's kind of my inspiration, and I like to tell stories.
I mean, they're pretty great. I mean, it's pretty funny, like just how some things are just made out of like spite or whatever. Actually, it's funny. I actually just watched a Classics Explained or something like that as a channel, and this guy like does like animations and stuff, and he talked about how like Carnival of the Animals like almost didn't happen. Like it was originally the Swan movement was meant to be like a solo piece. But then he kept getting distracted because he's like, oh, like actually, like, well, like this is supposed to, like representing a swan for my friend who's the cello player, and I was like, well, wait, what if I just kind of kept writing for stuff? And he was like, I guess Camille Saint-Saëns was like this guy who was like very into like geology and archaeology and like nature and all these things. So it's kind of spawned from there, but it ended up being, because I won't spoil the whole video, but like it ended up being like he said, do not perform this piece until I have died. Like
Really?
that's
Dun, dun, dun.
which is kind of crazy. So exactly like
'Cause he was
1 year, exactly 1 year after he died, they performed it like officially for the public. It was performed one time for like a very private affair, and like no one was like, and it was like private affair as in like I think himself and like the guy he wrote the cello part for, and that was it. So, but it's kind of neat, just like historical things like that. But you know, yeah, we know the song, but like how it got there is always kind of interesting. So that's cool. What was the topic today?
Oh my gosh. Fourth graders were getting into music history time periods and what those are called and kind of the overview differences. But they kind of focused on the Romantic period.
You know, because it's not just classical music.
Yeah, well, it said on the screen like modern time period, 1910 to present. And I was like, you
Yikes.
guys, that means Taylor Swift. And
Yeah,
they're like, what?
She's
Yeah, no,
modern?
she's modern, like yeah. Then, well, what about, I don't know, all these people. I'm like,
Melanie
yes.
Ramirez, or no,
Who?
Rodriguez? What's the
Melanie Ramirez is a student.
I know,
Shout
but
out.
shout out.
Shout out.
I think
Accidental
of her.
shout out. Yeah.
Olivia Rodriguez, is that?
Olivia
No, there's
Rodrigo.
Mel.
Rodrigo.
Mel.
Agar.
There,
Shout out.
Shout out.
She's like one of the most streamed people right now. I promise you. If I type in Mel on Spotify, Melanie Martinez.
Oh, Martinez.
Martinez. How could I forget Martinez?
I don't know.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but okay.
Check out her header on Spotify, people. You'll see what we're reacting to. Okay.
That'll be
Shout out.
out of context.
Number one
Sponsor.
song, Teacher's Pet.
Oh, is
It's a
that
song
like
about me.
hot for teacher?
Interesting.
I don't know what that song's about. Oh my gosh. I should not say things like that. Let me.
Not knowing the lyrics.
Nervous.
I play horn. It's so cool. I play horn all day because it's
Oh,
cool.
no.
You're like, oh, wait, that's okay.
Caught the teacher giving his eyes to a student.
Bleep.
Oops.
The last minute did not happen.
Didn't know it was that kind of a podcast.
We get
Wow.
an E marking on Spotify now.
For real. And it wasn't because of Kevin.
Don't care about grades, just call me your lady.
You should stop reading out loud. Oh my gosh.
These are things that she says to Christmas.
She's not even married yet.
Oh my word. It was a fourth grader who brought her up. Or no, yeah, one of your fourth graders, I heard them, was like, would that be Mel Ramirez? And you were like, sure. No.
Because I'm like, I don't know. Are they alive? We have to move on. I don't know. We're never going to get to this 15-minute video. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so
So fifth grade,
Yeah.
we were talking about the string family, which is leading into now we're talking about the banjo, which was a new topic for me this year. And then we're going to be playing the ukulele coming up.
Did the banjo originate from a different?
Yeah, well, its roots are in Africa. That's what we learned today.
I think I knew that, but I don't know
So
what.
from some different instruments, and so kind of,
Mhm.
I don't know, transatlantic slave trade. We talked about that a little bit too, but I don't know, it's very interesting. And then what's sixth grade? Oh, sixth grade started in March, a whole music madness, March Madness, and we were voting between 16 songs. And due to setbacks, we're still not finished.
April Madness.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, next week they should be voting on the final 2 songs, and they don't know it yet, but it's going to be between the Schuyler sisters from Hamilton
Ooh.
and what's the other?
That's all I know.
Schuyler sisters.
I don't remember the other parts.
Oh, it's a good song. I think I have it on my list.
And
Peggy.
Peggy, yeah. The reference was there, but
Angelica.
the second word.
Eliza. And Peggy.
Oh yeah, it's like and
sisters.
Ruth or something like
Yeah,
that.
oh, and then the soundtrack from Pirates of the Caribbean or Caribbean.
Oh.
Where you're from. So we had like 4 music genres, which was opera, classical, jazz, musicals, and then movie soundtracks. And so we had 4 songs in each, and they've been voting them out one by one.
So
down to the
fun
final
fact
2.
about pirates that I learned the last month or 2. So if you look up the composer for the very first Pirates movie, it says Klaus Badelt. Well, actually, Hans Zimmer actually started writing for the movie, but
True.
he wasn't able to actually do the movie because he was under contract for a different movie. So what he did was he kind of wrote these melodies and ideas, and he's like, you finish it and just score it. So basically it's done. Now you just put the other instruments with the chords and stuff, and then he signed it under that guy's name so he would get the credit and Hans wouldn't get in trouble. But it's basically Hans Zimmer. That's why it sounds like Hans Zimmer, and that's why after that movie he essentially did all the rest of the movies. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, the kids have been excited. That's supposed to go down to the bottom. Lisa's practicing her penmanship with the treble
I
clef.
blame this marker. Should I start throwing it at the ground?
Oh my gosh. Sure, do it on the carpet, because that works.
Work on your clefs, right? All
Tile
the different
floor
types
is
of clefs that
shattered.
there are.
I probably always do the podcast here because there's dry erase boards and I can.
There's a big table we can all
doodle.
sit
Oh
at.
my gosh, you know, skinny dry erase markers.
Do I?
These are dry erase,
They're
right? Before
probably
I use a
generic
Sharpie.
brand.
If Kevin
I've
was here,
done
he'd be
that
able to feel
before.
with what's going on right now.
Oh
The
my
distraction.
gosh.
The distractions.
Why do I have so many? Where did these come from? I mean, the office, obviously.
Wow.
So,
This is supposed to reach all the way to the bottom line. Your bottom part of your treble clef should
my
touch the
gosh.
bottom line. What,
You know,
did you go to
have you-
Western?
The thing.
There you
oh,
go.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's much
I should
better.
take a photo and post it on
so you
the
go that way. I
Instagram.
always start in the circle and then come back.
Really? Yeah, no, I do.
That could be a whole topic
Jay,
for your next podcast
Hook.
episode.
No, hook and then loop around. So you
Go
do.
backwards.
I can't even process what you're telling.
What?
And they go,
No.
No.
Wow.
Well, yeah, start a little
Here,
closer. I
give me
keep
the
the
pen.
loop
Give me
closer.
the pen. I'm gonna do this.
And then you added a flat line.
I did it.
You added a lump
Like
to the.
this.
That's what I do.
And then if I feel fancy, I add the little tail with the dot. but some kids do, they do that business.
I don't know how you
the
just did
bottom.
that. Okay.
You should do a vote. If you're posting that picture, be like,
I will. Do yours.
one is by one is by the other, one by the other, and you vote for your favorite, and then we'll tell you next week who the winner was. I don't like that.
That's
Mine doesn't go all the way up though.
It's not frilly enough.
This needs to be wrapped around the G line. It's a G clef.
Yeah, it's touching it. That's where I start.
Touching it is not wrapped around. Oh, I guess there's a tiny bit of white right there.
There you go. There you go. There's enough room. Anyway, so fourth grade, and then we move to beginning band fifth grade, right?
Right. So fourth graders have spent a good part of the year talking about the instrument families, reviewing them, hopefully, because I think Mrs. Martinez covers that also at the younger grades. But just kind of getting into it. I really just want them to understand what a trumpet sounds like, and that's not the same as a flute, and you think that would be
Obvious.
and it's not. Anyway, so we finished up with that, and they're oh my gosh, they're so excited. Fourth graders, win. So, hopefully soon we can tell you when.
That's awesome. So, working with the beginners, what are some things that maybe for a newer teacher or people who are student teaching who are listening, like what would be some big, no, it's not big, but like what are some like pieces of advice you'd say for like things about beginning band that separates from like even junior high or even high school band? Like, of course, there are some things like fundamentals should be across the board, but like maybe the way you go about teaching the lower grades versus higher grades to make maybe a transition a little bit easier, if that makes sense.
I say, hey, photo, hey. Step one, you need to get yourself a Lisa Hallen to be
that's
your
true.
coworker. Because anything I can't figure out, I'm just like, go talk to Miss Hallen. I don't know why your saxophone's doing that. I don't know. Like, is there a bent key? I can't tell. There's too many.
My favorite is when I'm like, why don't you go ask Mrs. Pickrell? And they're like, she sent me to you. We're just ping-ponging the students back and forth.
I love that.
That's funny.
No. But even, I don't know. Are you talking about like band beginner stuff?
Yeah,
or
well,
like
like
pre-band.
I think teaching at this level in general, like there are some things that, like when it comes to fundamentals of playing, like we all need to talk about like breath support. We all need to talk about like fingerings and stuff. Even in high school, you just gotta have some of that kind of experiences to play in order to play certain types of music. But what do you think is maybe some things that are like more detail oriented, or maybe like what's maybe the way that you address a topic at these lower grades is, would you say is there's a certain way to do it versus how maybe you would do it in like the high school level or junior high level when they've already had more experience?
I don't know if this answers your question or not, but I'm just going to say it. I feel pressure sometimes at this age level with are they forming good habits? Like, is his neck supposed to look like that when he's playing?
Yep.
Should I say something? Or do we just let him and he's just going to, like, go on into junior high and high school and be like, well, this is how I play? And I don't know. So there's a little bit of, like, I want to make sure they're doing things correctly. Another big thing is they're practicing. They don't know how to practice. This has just been a new thought to me in the last couple of years. Like, we don't teach them how to practice. We just kind of expect them to know what to do. Don't you feel that way?
Yeah, I've tried to, and it's because some kids just like get it like we do. I've been doing better about, I know my first year I didn't understand why, but I've been getting better about teaching them like focusing on rhythm first, because that when they're still learning that, so we do count and clap and then say it and move it, saying the note names and then playing it, and it is incredible. And then I try and remember to be like, hey, you should do this at home too, because you see how you were so much better when we went through that process. So that's what I've been trying to implement. But like at this point in the year, like at the beginning,
It doesn't matter anymore.
yes, yeah, no, seriously, I get a lot looser with it. At the beginning, I'm like, no, we can't play it yet. You have to count and clap it. You have to say it and move it. But at this point, like as the connections are forming faster and faster, I kind of let them try playing it first, and then when it, falls apart, I'm like, okay, so what can we do to help us figure out that rhythm first.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, kind of clap.
I always say just treat it like rehearsal. What's the first thing you always do when you practice or when you come to rehearsal? Put your instrument together.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
And then what do you do after that? What's the first thing that we play? Warm-ups. Okay, play through your warm-ups.
Uh-huh.
So you play through the whole warm-up page. Okay, what's the piece that we usually start with? This one. Okay. Then what was the part that we hit the other day? This one. Okay, play that. What's your favorite part? Oh, this part. Okay, play that part too.
Yeah.
While you're at it, and then you just go through the rehearsal. That's what I always say. But they said the only difference between this and you're practicing in rehearsal is it's just you. So that means two things. It means one, you have to make sure that you're concentrating so that you're doing it right. But two, it won't take as long as rehearsal because it's just you. So like, don't think about it as it has to be an hour long. 15 minutes, you can get all this stuff done. You know, I think it's sometimes at the junior high, I think it's always like a mentality thing. Like if you think it's a lot like it's what it normally is, and you're not putting into account these other factors that make it that way, then it's not so bad. So I don't know. That's kind of how I always used to approach practicing.
Yeah, but and I started our little sticker incentive door that you can see over there.
Oh, yeah.
With I don't know. I just wanted to make when they threw me into band. Like I have a band background, but I didn't want to teach band. And then they kind of didn't ask my permission. They just kind of said, "This is now going to be your job," and I was like, "Well, fine. I guess I'm gonna do this now." So and thankfully I had Joy Boostrom, who was
Shout out.
amazing. Yeah, Joy
Yeah.
Boostrom. And I just kind of learned a lot by watching her, and and I'm still a band nerd, you know, at heart. Like singing, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Kevin.
Absolutely.
No, but I don't know. It's got to sound good, and if they're playing sounds terrible, I tell them like, oh, what?
It's true.
Well, I do, yeah. And like, well, that was horrible. Let's, why? Why was that terrible? And why don't we know F sharp saxophones?
That's weird because that's what they start with.
And then they just kind of certain someone. Well, I don't remember how to play F sharp. Oh my gosh.
Get your finger chart out.
I could show
Back
you,
it up.
but then I
Back
get
it
in
up.
trouble.
Yeah, I have to be careful with that.
Do you know what that fingering is, audience? Do you know why it can be kind of tricky sometimes?
Anyway,
Especially
no,
with-
but when they practice, like, and it's interesting because you would think they would lie to say, yeah, I practiced. Well, I think Lisa's kids lie sometimes about practicing because she's
They
such
would
a softie.
never.
Oh, okay. No, but like they're pretty honest. Like, yeah, I practiced or I didn't, and they get their sticker and prizes equate to that, and I think they like it.
I have like 3 fifth graders who it was like very slow moving at the beginning, and they've like shot up, and now they're just like playing their stuff, and it's so, like you start to wonder, in like January, like, oh my gosh, we need to think about switching instruments. Like, is this not working? But just in the last like 2 weeks, there's been some making huge progress. That it's like, okay,
Yay.
sometimes like slow and steady, like it's okay. And it's usually instruments like flute, where like flute is so hard to get started on. It's so slow. But then once they figure out that tone production, like they can just scoot ahead.
I love those little like.
Which is why I love teaching. I do the 6th graders for their lessons, and I love that they come to me and they kind of already know how to play.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, we don't have to fight with, getting the sound out.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Miss Hallen's amazing, and you already know.
So that's the front half of the year, and as we come back from winter break, you guys are working on, like, again, continuing the fundamentals and things. So now let's approach the topic of the day, which is the
I thought that was the topic.
Well, you're the main topic. But the next
Oh.
big topic is the all-district band concert.
Oh, that's really what
So-
I wanted to talk about.
This is obviously Lisa's favorite concert of the year.
Yes.
Sorry, high school.
And
But
they're there too.
for many reasons. For those of you who don't know, the all-district band concert is, well, it's kind of what it sounds like. And it's
Started by the illustrious Mrs. Boostrom.
shout
Shout
out,
out.
double shout out. Which honestly, I think when you look at it, it is not only a performance in the books for like the younger grades, but also I think it's also a great recruitment tool for
Yes.
for everyone, not even just the students, but the parents as well.
Yes.
Because you see the progression of things, And it was funny. I had a conversation with Aaron Sikorsky, shout
out.
principal at junior high, and he was like, every year I go to that concert, and I'm reminded like how big of a difference like 1 year can make or 2 years can make. Because I'm like, these 8th graders are about to go into your high school program, and like they sound like that. That's amazing. And then like the Central, like they're only 1 year away from coming to us and then sounding like that. So it's a really good reminder of, for me, as he says, to like this is a really cool thing that we got going on. So
Yeah.
So Lisa, explain what your favorite parts of the all district concert are.
Well, we do it chronologically in age order, I guess. So we start with our beginning band, the students who just started this year, and then we go to 6th grade band, and like again, 1 year, such a big difference. Our beginning band is playing. Let's see, we played Down by the Station, 5-note song, and it's all unison except for one duet, which so just 2 parts. And then 6th graders are playing actual beginning band pieces, like I think we're doing grade 1s. So again, huge step up, and we have both of those bands set up like right next to each other, so those 5th graders get to be like really close to hearing this up higher level of music that they're going to be doing next year. And then, like you said, huge step up, we switch over to the junior high, and just that is our 7th and 8th graders. And again, being able to have the students and the parents see, oh, that's what my students can be playing next year, and that's what these last 2 years have been going for, and just so fun. Then we go to the high school, we do our 2 high school bands and the jazz band, and again, like just having it continually be like, oh, that was so cute, that was so good, look at them playing, to, oh, that's a real song, there's harmony in different parts, and oh, now we have bigger tone, fuller sound, and just like the maturity in sound quality, the maturity in musicality as it steps up. And it always works out that there's a softball game on that night. I think the last 3 concerts we've had softball players who they can't make it to the beginning of the concert, but they make it by the time high school comes. So they are coming in, they have their, what's the tar you put under your eyes? What's that called? The black.
Like that sweat resistant whatever stuff.
Yeah.
War paint.
War paint.
Yeah, they have their war paint on. They're
And
wearing.
I don't think that's what that's called.
It's
I like it.
representative.
They're wearing their softball gear, and like that, I always make a big deal out of it. Like, hey, you can do it all in Monmouth Roseville. We have top athletes in our band and choir programs, and I do that. We say that to the parents because 5th grade is when they start having a lot more options, and it's a little scary for parents to sometimes like, oh my gosh, is this too much? Am I doing too much? Should we quit band because we're doing volleyball now? And I always make a big deal of, hey, high schoolers, raise your hand if you're in band and you're an athlete. Raise your hand if you're in band and you have a job. Raise your hand if you're in band and you're in National Honor Society. So they can see that it is possible. There are tons of successful high schoolers who have stuck with it, but they're still, playing their softball games and making it to their concert, and we will work with them. So it's such a great concert. I just like living on a high at it. It's so cute. And then, oh my gosh, the day after any concert is great at Central, but like
Everybody else is just chaos. I don't have my instrument. I left my folder at home. I don't have this. I think we have band today because we had a concert last night. Well, who said this? Who made up these rules?
The 5th graders are always, or the 5th and 6th graders are always just like, when's our next concert? And I had so much fun. And at the end we do a combined piece with 5th grade through high schoolers, and it's always, Miss Allen, I was so lost. I didn't play a single note. I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. Thank goodness for high schoolers who help us along.
Shout out to high schoolers.
And yes, seeing the little short 5th graders next to the super tall high schoolers. So cute.
She's talking about like the
Okay.
average size high schoolers. Then there's Drew Carlson.
Yes.
Shout out. It's a good concert. It's a lot of fun.
It is, well, and I was sitting with the junior high kids trying to, stop talking, put your phone away. And they just were like, could not believe the 5th and 6th graders. They were like, how many are there? And I'm like, well, that's like 2 grade levels. And they were just like they couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
We only had, however many they had. And I'm like, well, yeah, but that's great. So that's going to be your junior high band in a couple of years.
I'll say the numbers are a little down this year. I think part of last year was like there was definitely some people trying to join band late, but it's like it's very difficult to have a brand new person start in junior high because it's like we kind of expect like the people to who like were just with at Central to be able to like already have their instrument and all that stuff, and you don't want to just throw them on percussion. So it's definitely we're definitely smaller this year, but I think our sound is way better than last year, like way better.
They sounded so good at the concert.
And it also is in part of they love that song for whatever reason. I did it last year for no, I didn't do it for contest. What did I do? I did it for some other concert, and they loved it. And I said, like, well, I mean, it's a good like concert. Oh, we did it for the winter concert last year.
That's what
it
I was thinking. I
Yeah,
wasn't
winter
sure,
concert
though.
last year. So then we're gonna do it for contest this year. I mean, they just really liked it. It's a pretty well written. It's not too much going on as far as like complexity, but it's enough like separation of parts of like everyone's doing something different, but it's like not that different that like you couldn't just read it. So they have high success with it, so they enjoy it. So Affirmation by William Owens. Shout out to William Owens. So that's what you're gonna say, huh?
Yes.
What's
I was like,
the piece
you
called?
have the audience on the edge of their seat. This song
What's-
that middle schoolers love, and you won't
true.
tell them.
Yeah. So you have to become a follower.
Subscribe to our Patreon and
Yeah,
that's,
yeah.
bonus material.
It's called Lisa's wedding.biz
Yes.
fund. Affirmation by William Owens. So yeah, they really liked that piece. So for whatever reason, and honestly, it's kind of one of those where it's like I might just do it every year as like the beginning of the year piece, just so that like there's some familiarity. We get used to playing in an ensemble, we get used to each other playing together. So it might be just one of those like we do it every year because it's like it just kind of helps people play, and there's some familiarity to it. But
Well, that's why they're there. They want to play.
mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully that's why they're there.
Right.
One of the reasons why they're there is to play their
Right.
instrument.
So anyway, but yeah, it's been quite a journey since then in all districts. So tomorrow we have the high school organizational contest, which, I mean, like I shouldn't say every year as if I've been here that long, but like compared to last year and also like this year, like I feel like we're definitely more prepared than we were last year. And yet, there's still like this kind of like, still something could happen, like just like any other concert. But I think it's gonna be fine. I think we'll be fine. I know Kevin was a little concerned, but it'll be all right.
We had a rough
Concerned about your
dress
band
rehearsal.
or concerned about
No, just yes.
Yes.
Concerned about an ensemble he has no control over.
That's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it'll be a good outing for everyone.
We're using our new concert blacks.
Yes. Yeah. That was really awesome. Shout out to Ed Fletcher for approving these concert blacks.
And Miss Gentle for fitting them.
Yep. Shout out to Ms. Gentle. Thank you.
I don't want to do that. I'm gonna be honest.
It's definitely not usually part of the band director repertoire, but just throw the hat on the rack like all the other ones.
Well, hey, and your new band uniforms look real nice.
Oh my gosh, we didn't
I
mention
forgot about
that.
that, too.
That
Got
was
debuted at the concert.
Yeah.
yes.
So originally, that's right. So we got the uniforms in end of February, middle of February, end of February-ish.
Time isn't real. I have no idea.
Anyway,
It's
And then we were kind of debating, like, oh, when do we reveal them? And I originally said the Pops concert, which will be in a few weeks.
And Lisa was like, no.
And then Lisa was like, no. She always says no, so
It's true.
she shoots my ideas down all the time. It's okay.
We'll have
It's
better
fine.
ideas.
These are my best ideas. And if she's shooting them down, then it's like I don't know where to go from here.
You gotta
I can't
get
go up.
Her level.
I can't go up from here.
Yeah.
So
Get a
she's
ladder.
like, no, why don't we do it at the all district concert because it's like because we'll see all the band kids will be there. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea.
These are the kids who are going to be wearing them.
Right, exactly. So I thought we had a couple seniors, since they won't be wearing them. Had a couple seniors kind of do like a reveal mid-concert, and the place went out, and they were really excited. I think
Yeah.
and the high schooler was like, oh my gosh, look how nice they look. And it's like, yeah, well, they're brand new, so hopefully they look nice. But I think a lot of compliments from them on the design and how it looked, and I think we're just gonna feel a lot more comfortable in them, but also like I think we're gonna take some pride into that going into the next season.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I was sitting
With
with
that.
6th graders at that part, and I was just like, oh my gosh, is that a cape? Is that a thing that
Yes.
can
That was-
swing around? That's
yeah.
fabulous.
I almost did the full cape, and I was like, no, like that's old school.
Because of The Incredibles, when the guy gets sucked into the plane because
That's
he's wearing a
exactly,
capes.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
sure, half cape is better.
Quarter cape.
I was trying to tell the kids, I'm like, in just a couple of years, like you're gonna be in that. And they're like, oh, that's cool.
Yep, quarter cape. But yeah, I wanted to have something a little like flashy, but it's gonna be like, okay, we have to do like turns forever now because we have to always
Yes.
just do it in the show to like turn.
Just no
Make it
reason.
No, it needs to be
Yeah.
a parade move. Somehow you need, like when you do your
Ooh,
parade,
like
it
a-
needs to be like during the cadence, during the
yeah,
drum cadence.
we'll just do Fireball again. So, but no, but digga. Yes, exactly.
Lisa's doing dance moves for. Oh,
Yeah.
and she's a dancer. She needs to choreograph.
That's true.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
surprised- Yeah,
We
yeah.
have Mrs. McCants for that. Shout out.
She'd actually be doing actual ballet out there.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know. I don't know if some of those people would take to it. Because
making
I'm the one
friends
who has
at
to
them.
remember how to do it to teach it.
Side note: I've had 2 tuba lessons this week.
Yeah.
Gone.
Well, we could match pitch,
There you go.
so that's a big win. That's a big win. So they're just 2 baritone kids who are so excited.
So yeah, now we have no baritones for you. However, we have 2 tubas.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
gonna
fine
need
with
them in a
that.
few years, so
Yeah.
let's keep her moving with the low
'cause
brass.
I took pictures. You want to see pictures?
Let's just do like a rotation of a brass band one year only, and then a woodwind
Seriously,
year.
well,
And then like that way by the time they get to band, it's like nice.
this 6th grade class is full of low brass. Oh,
Love it.
like you are getting a lot.
But,
But
like-
my 5th graders are not. So
That's-
I need to. I don't know what I did.
But here's the
last
thing:
2 years ago,
for
but
our level, trombones just have the baritone line. Like,
Yeah.
basically. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like they really wouldn't be missing that much. Where the tuba
That's
line is
true.
like usually really different.
that's true.
You know, or at least it can
Well,
be.
maybe they want to switch off. Maybe when you have one playing baritone still, and then
Yeah,
on
the
the
finger
next
rings
songs,
translate. It's just a matter of reading
Yeah.
it up an octave.
and getting
So-
comfortable with.
So I
And
think
then-
starting on baritone is better than going from tuba to baritone. If that makes
Yes.
sense. It's always better to do that way.
And then when they're in high school, they can be
Aiden Gadina.
yes,
Shout out.
and switching.
Hey, and I talked to him. I told it because I taught him tuba. You know, everything he knows is because
Yes.
of his time here with me in 6th grade. But I said, you should come over and work with these kids, and he'd love to do it. And I was like, he's like, how would that work? I was like, well, we're going to talk to Miss Hallen, and she'll have
And then she'll
a brilliant idea. She'll
So
just
he-
figure it out.
So
He
yeah,
really-
so someone came to for you to question, and then you go to Lisa.
Aiden, we're going to take that question right to Lisa.
You know who would answer that question?
Let's do it after district, and he probably doesn't need to stay for advisory, so he gets out of school at
See, she
2:20
knows the
something.
answer.
Yeah,
See?
we got
Why
this.
You only direct questions that she just knocks
Does
out of the
Aiden
park.
listen to this podcast?
I don't know.
Aiden, you're now on the hook. So.
But yeah, so we have organizational tomorrow. I think this will be a good outing. I think I'm gonna bring the microphone with us, just have a little bit of bonus episode since we didn't have one last couple of weeks. But hopefully we'll have an excellent update with how things went with everything. So yeah, we'll
We need to
Yes.
ask her the question we ask guests.
I
Oh,
forget.
great.
We'll just talk about like your musical influences, and it doesn't have to be like band. Like what? Tell us about music you love. How has music changed your life?
Oh my gosh.
See, so when we have guests, she's the only one that asks this question.
This-
that's why.
no.
That's why I'm like, I don't know what question you're talking about.
Literally not how that happened. Like, go back and listen to the records.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I am
Like how?
Like why am I a music teacher?
Yeah,
why-
like, how did
I
it-
follow
how
did it
this?
start?
Yeah,
Like-
that's fine. I started piano lessons when I was 6 because my mom made me.
shout out.
Shout out, Mom, and my dad. They're both musical people. My dad was a junior high band director for a while and played. He's got his master's from Boston University in Washington,
An entire university.
He's got a master's in
WRU all the time.
Yeah, but it's different. We went there.
No, but like he has his master's in horn performance, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
Anyway, so music has just kind of always been in my house, and then they both were involved with church and doing the music at the church. He was the choir director. My mom is a wonderful pianist and would accompany, and so a lot of Saturday nights, like they're practicing the hymns for the next, morning or whatever.
Wow.
So that's what I grew up with in the house, and turns out I'm a really good French horn player. So I was like, why would I stop playing after high school? So, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to still continue music, and I knew that if I said I was going to major in music, I could maybe get some scholarship money, and so that's what happened. And anyway, it wasn't until sophomore year of college or junior year or something like that where I took a class where it was like elementary music methods, which I did not have because we didn't have a music teacher.
Really?
Until I was like in the 4th grade, and she was really mean. Shout out, no. Well, my class was
Unshout-out.
also kind of rough. Not me, but like my class was kind of rough. So it was probably she had a scowl all the time because of the kids in my class. But anyway, yeah, I don't want to talk about her. I don't remember her name.
Well, I'm kind of glad.
You can edit this part out, right? I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was taking this elementary music class and was like, this is what you could do with music in school. Like, that's amazing. And that just kind of solidified it for me. So just being at Illinois Wesleyan.
Shout out.
And with the tutelage of Dr. Kevin Nichols, I mean, really, I would not be where I am today
Out.
without
Yes.
his percussion techniques class. I mean, let's...
What was your favorite instrument in percussion techniques?
Oh my god, all of them. He'd be like, I need someone, and my hand would be up in the air because if I didn't volunteer, I was gonna like nod off and fall asleep. So. And then he'd be like, okay, now this next instrument, and I'd be like, no, I won't play that one now. Like,
Yeah, you had me hooked at this
that
one.
was a fun class, but yeah. And then I just kind of fell in love with general music and elementary music, and that's how I landed in Monmouth and
Very good.
was
So,
doing the things.
so where did you student teach, and then what was your first job?
So I student taught I had 2 assignments, and the first one was doing band, and I actually was in 2 spots for band. One was beginning band at Normal West
Shout out.
with Jennifer Grafe. I think that's
Shout
her
out.
last name. She's gotten married now, and I think she's retiring this year at Bloomington, one of the schools down there. Really, I enjoyed that a lot. And then I had 2 days a week. I was 3 days with her, and then 2 days I was driving to Lincoln and a high school marching band, and I ended up taking over the theory class because I was like, I don't want to direct. He was really nice, Tony Corpus. He was like, oh, well, let's just, take this theory class. And I was like,
Wait.
okay.
Tony Cole? Why do we know that name?
And I student taught with him for like 8 weeks. It was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's retired.
Wait, no, he works for
Guardian?
No.
I mean-
No.
No,
no.
not them. They
No,
don't sponsor
not,
us.
So not Kidder. What's the other?
We can't talk about West Music or music makers on our Kidders.
Can't think of. Yeah, I
Please
know. I
edit
can't-
that out. We love all music shops, but mostly
that
Kidders.
was it. The music shop. That was it. The
I said
music
that
shop.
like 30
You said
seconds
West,
ago.
You said West Music.
And
And
then
that's not that. Anyway, the music shop. Okay, he was the road guy at McGill when I taught there. Yeah, at least I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That's
I
right.
don't even know if he would
Percussionist?
remember. I don't remember.
Oh,
I know
okay.
he went to school with Kevin Revis.
Shout out!
Um,
I'm pretty sure.
I think he went to school with Kevin.
I'm pretty sure he taught first.
We're starting all sorts of rumors right now.
Anyway.
Lincoln's school colors were red and green, and I know the story of that because apparently Lincoln visited their town. That's why they're called Lincoln, and he ate a watermelon. That's what they told me.
No way.
That's what they told me. I
That-
don't know.
feels
So-
fake, but
Well, they had the same mascot as the Canton Little Giants. This is exact
Well, you know
same.
Lincoln, he'd never tell a lie. But somebody,
Well,
else,
no, that's
but somebody else would.
question.
But somebody else would.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I also did elementary general music with Mary Eggleston in Bloomington, Illinois.
Shout out.
Yeah, she was a Kodai certified teacher,
Oh,
and
nice.
at that point, well, in fact, I only did my level 1 Kodai training because I knew if I did it, I would get to student teach with her.
Nice.
She was amazing. She was the wife of our conductor, one of the conductors at Wesleyan.
that's awesome.
And she was just amazing. We'd observed with her before. I was like, wow, she's like really good at what she does, and I need to be here. My whole trophy system I do, the musicians of the month, that came from her. So went through I can't believe I did this. I played piano for her Christmas show. Like I was the accompanist. Talk about scary.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that good. I mean,
I don't know. What I'm hearing is we can start hiring her as an accompanist.
no.
For,
No. These kids think I'm good, but that's because I play Grand Old Flag. Like that's playing it for 20 years, you get kind of good at it. So that was my student teaching background, and then the other question you asked was my first job, Monmouth.
She has been here her
Yeah.
whole career.
Since the beginning.
Yeah. In fact, my great grandmother used to live, I don't know, over that way, and she taught for Monmouth too, which is
Oh,
kind of
That
Wow.
is so cool.
So when I first was here, I'd run into people and they'd be like, Fink, like, would you have a relative that was Mrs. Fink that taught 5th grade at Harding? And I was like, yes, that's my great grandma. So,
That's funny.
yeah, my grandparents grew up here and met here. And okay, now that's a good treble clef. Lisa's still practicing her treble clef.
This entire time.
Doodles, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just have loved Monmouth, and I love the kids. The kids have always been really amazing. And my mom would say, like, there's other amazing kids elsewhere. Like, you don't just have to stay at Monmouth. And I'm like, yeah, but like,
But
I don't know. It just has always felt like a good fit.
Mhm.
So glad to still be here.
We're glad you're here too.
we
Thanks.
are glad. For sure.
I feel welcomed
Mm-hmm.
after all this time.
Even though you welcomed all of us.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of changeover in the district since I started. It's different, but
When they said Lana's been teaching here since 1992, that was like, holy cow.
Yeah,
I
were
was
you-
not born yet.
I was gonna say, were you born yet?
I was born in 95. Like, that is wild. Shout out, Lana.
That's crazy.
Be careful, you're gonna blink and then you'll retire.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Boing.
Boing, basically. Heading home, says the wife.
Aww.
So, anyway. Well, Emily, thank you so much for your time today. We'll obviously need to do this again soon.
Check with my agent,
That's right, yeah.
Santiago Miranda. He's in charge of my calendar.
Shout out. Santi.
Yes.
Well, thank you for another episode. But first and foremost, of course, thank you for Kidder Music, our official music sponsor for all your music needs. If you need to contact them, of course, you can contact them at kiddermusic.com. We are working on a discount code by the sounds of it. So be
Promo
on
code murder.
the...
No, that's not it. That's my other podcast. I
As in
listen
like
to.
crow? As in like crows?
Oh no.
Oh, group of crows called a murder.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not remember
Now
that.
you learned something.
Yeah, thank you.
Murder of the day. Murder of the day. Word of the day.
Would
Murder.
Kidder have that special stuff you put on the saxophone metal joint when you screw the neck into the body? Is that like something
Is there
Kidder
special
has?
stuff?
Wait, what?
Is there not? So you can
I
edit
don't
all
know.
this out. I was trying to hype up Kidder.
If
The
it
kid
exists,
says
they have
He
it.
can't get the neck, like it doesn't go in easy. He's
I
like,
use-
is there something I can put on this?
Just like wipe it with your hands. Like it
Yeah,
just
I'm not
gets
touching it.
dirty.
You also have
Give
to
it
put it
to-
in straight. If they're doing this on an angle, it's meant to go straight in. If it's going
So
on
he's
an angle.
probably bent it, is what you're telling me.
Well, he might be like trying to push it in on an angle where it needs to go straight
Okay.
in. But yeah, I would just take a little take a paper towel, just rub it a little bit. It's probably just got a little bit of gunk
Yeah.
on it.
He's
It
one
doesn't
that I don't think his mouth is right when he plays saxophone. Honestly,
Not-
his lip
none
is
of them
all-
are.
and I'm like,
No
oh.
saxophone ever has it
check
right the
that
first
in.
time. But anyway, thank you, Kid of Music, for all that you do for our
Yes.
students and all the other students as well. If you ever need anything instrument repair, or
We just got
products-
some goodies, some scores for
Oh, yes.
IESA.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I have
some
all-
scores
all
for
those
Pops.
for tomorrow and junior high. But thank you, Kidder, for sponsoring us. Thank you for all that you do for our students, and thank you again.
Oh, you're
Emily,
welcome. It
for
was a
being on.
pleasure to be here.
So absolutely. So now we end it with the traditional
Girl.
girl bye.
Bye.
Oh,
One more time. A girl bye.